All right, CNT120, we're working on the Network Design Lab. We're now working on part 2, the cost sheet. So previously, I'll pull up my network map here. This is the map we did for part 1, and we have just the basic placeholders in here. We're now going to go find these pieces of equipment and create a cost sheet, and then we'll add the model numbers to our map. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm actually just going to create a new Google Sheet. That way I have this to plug my information into, and I'm going to quick give it a name right off the bat. I'm going to call mine demo because I'm using for podcasts, but I will do CNT120 Network Design Lab, and I'm just going to call it cost sheet. There we go. Okay. So we are going to create this. So let me put my headers and things here so I can start putting this information in. Let me make this a little bit larger for you guys to see. There we go. We'll put device here, and this will be things like the router we're going to select, the switch we're going to select, the access point we're going to select, and the IP phone that we're going to select. Those are the basic pieces of equipment we need for the plan. If you remember reading through, we're not going to worry about getting the PCs. They already have a contract for those. And we're not going to worry about the printer. They already have a contract for that. We're just going to focus on the network pieces of our plan. We'll need the description, item description here. This might be the details we need of what is this. We'll need the model number. We'll want to put in here how many we need or quantity. We'll need the unit cost, in dollars, if you will. And then the total cost, especially if we have more than one of this thing. And then we'll want the source out here. Where am I getting my pricing and so forth from? I'll make this a little larger. I'll make my model number a little larger. I can make the quantity smaller, leave the cost, and I'll make my sources larger. I'm going to highlight the top row and make it bold, and I'm going to make this column over here bold so some things stand out. There we go. Now that I have that created, I can start finding my equipment and plug it in here. Now, if you remember at the bottom of the lab, so I'm going to keep going down here at the bottom, I have kind of cliff note directions on picking out equipment. The first thing I have listed is firewall, and this is optional. This might be one of those things you could do to make your plan better. We're going to try to pick a router that has the stuff in we need to keep the cost down. So I'm going to scroll right down here to the router, and I'm going to focus in on just finding a router for their site that has what we need. So we're gonna pick on Cisco mainly because they have what we're looking for. I always joke it's not like I get free T-shirts or coffee mugs or anything. We're just gonna pick this. This matches up with what we're doing in Packet Tracer too. So there should be some similarity in what we're getting. We're going to go right to that site. We're going to go to the networking, routers, branch routers kind of thing. So we'll go to products, networking. We'll go to all networking. And then we should be able in here find routers or branch routers kind of thing. So here's routers, explore routing. And then we'll hopefully find in here the branch router. Yeah, we do. There's the branch router, and we'll explore all the branch routers. Again, the websites might get updated. You might need to do a little bit digging around to find them. That'll roughly get us to where we need. These would be the branch routers that should work for our site. These would be some small business, medium business, and working our way up. So we're going to kind of hit this middle of the road right here. This should give us a little bit of everything that we need. Some firewall, some IP phone, some of that basic DHCP, NAT kind of thing for our site. So we'll look at this, and then we'll look at, I think I have you in here, like view data sheet. Branch routers, middle of the road. Yeah, view data sheet if you need to. And this should show all the routers and their capabilities if I scroll down through here. Here we go. Here's the 4461, 4451, 4431, and so forth. And I should see, does it do it for me? Does it go over further? Let me do this way. Where's the other ones? All right, I'll back out here, and we'll look at it this way. We should be able to see. Here we go. We'll look at them this way. Here's your 4331, 4221, and these work our way up. We're going to try this range. We could always go larger or smaller depending on what our need is. As we go larger, the cost is going to go up, but we might get what we need in this range here. So I'm going to see if I can find integrated services router 4331, which is similar to the one we have in our lab room. And we're going to go to a pricing source. We're going to pick on CDW. Again, not because I get t-shirts and coffee mugs and so forth. It's just because they usually have this product. So we're going to pick on the Cisco Integrated Services Router 4331. And we'll see if they have that. And it looks like they do right off the bat. They have some here. We want to see if they have ones that are able to do what we want. Here might be a base model, and routers are kind of like computers. I can add different operating systems on top of the hardware, the router itself, to give me different capability. This is kind of the base router. If I scroll down here, here's the security bundle. If I keep going, I might find, here's security bundle. Here's the voice security bundle. You notice the price is a little bit more, but this is going to do some of our firewall stuff as well as our IP phone stuff to route the phone traffic back to the corporate office, if you will. So this right here would probably do everything we need it to do at this site. The firewall, the IP phone, the DHCP, NAT, all that kind of good stuff. So we're going to grab this guy and put this in our plan. This is how we're going to progress through here to find these pieces of equipment. I'll do a word wrap on this to kind of keep this from taking up so much room. I'll do that on all of these here. We'll do the word wrap. We're going to grab the model number from here. This will be the model number right there. And then we'll grab the price over here. So we'll put that in there. We're going to need just one of these. Yes, we know the price is not cheap, $56.29. I'm going to grab the source while I'm here. So we'll do $56.29. And then we'll put the source over there. Now we want to make these dollars and cents. So I'm going to highlight them, come over here to the dollar symbol and make these currency. And then I'm going to put a formula here that's going to multiply these for me. So I'm going to say equals this cell, asterisk for times. Here we go, asterisk for times, and then I'm going to click on this cell. That way it takes the contents of these cells and multiplies them together for us. That way if I were to change this quantity, it'll update the price for me. I'm then going to take this cell and I'm going to grab that little dot in the corner there, a little square in the corner. I'm going to drag that down, and that's going to drag that formula down to these cells for me. So that way as I plug information in here, it'll also calculate that for me. So there is my first piece of equipment, and while I'm at it, I'm going to quick come over here to my map, and I'm going to come in here, and I'm going to put in this, I'm going to update my map to Cisco router 4331, and we know it's going to do DHCP, it's going to do voice over IP, and it's going to do firewall. Now we have the details on our map. So as I go, I'm going to be updating my map as I go. That's how you find the first piece, okay? The second piece would be our switch. Let's do the same thing. And then I'm probably going to let you guys do the last two on your own. But let's go find a switch using the same kind of process, if you will. I'll go out here to the Cisco site. I'll do products again. I'm going to do networking. I'm going to do view all networking. And I believe once we do view all networking, we're going to do switches, explore switching kind of thing. So let's do switches in here. Let's see if they have, here we are, explore switching. And then we are going to look for access switches, getting access to the network. So we're going to explore all access switches. And again, we're going to try to find that middle of the road, if you will. And in here, this is like small business. This is beginning to be bigger business. So we're going to grab the 1000 series, Cisco Catalyst 1000 series. And then in here, I believe I have you do like get data sheet or view data sheet kind of deal. Here we go. We'll do view data sheet. Sometimes we can see everything we need on this one. Now, this is a ton of information, but in real life, you would be reading through, looking for pieces that you need and going, yeah, this has it, and so forth. We're going to scroll down to where we have the model numbers, Okay, and we're going to look for a model number that fits our need. Now, we counted up about 20 things, so if we pick a 24, we have enough, not a whole lot extra, just a couple ports, but enough to get by. That would get them started. If we wanted to, we could price out a 48 port, but they start getting more expensive. That might be a suggestion we put in our plan. We suggest you upgrade to a 48 port, but we're doing the 24 to keep the cost down for them. So here's a 24 port. But this does not do any power to power the IP phones. So we would need at least this. Here's 24 ports. It has some uplinks, but it actually is able to do power over Ethernet for our phones. So we're going to grab this model number right here and hope they have this guy as well. So we'll go in here and we'll paste that guy in. And they do, right off the bat. They have it right here. So we'll grab this guy. This right here is a 24 port, power over Ethernet. Yay! Okay, so we're going to grab this guy and we'll put this on our plan. Okay, so we'll do this right here. And then we'll grab the model number. Here's the model number right here. And then the price and so forth. We'll put that in there. We just need one of these. That's all our map has on. And looks like 1,047.99. 1,047.99, and then we'll put the source in there. Okay, this is how you'll work your way through getting the equipment for your plan. And don't forget, after you do this, come over here. We'll need to update this guy now. This was a Cisco Catalyst switch, and I believe it was the C1000 24P. Yeah, we could actually take this right here and just paste that right in. And we'll do that right there. There we go. And we know it's a 24 port switch. There we go. So there's our switch in our plan. What we would do now is continue on with your access point, and then also the IP phone. And I'll show you my, here was the one I did previously, so you can kind of see. There would be an access point. We did like a 140 AC, and then we did a 7821 IP phone. So there would be some model numbers you could potentially look for your plan. Once you have all the equipment in, again, put those model numbers in your map. So you have that. The other thing to do, make sure down here under the total cost, we're going to do a sum total. So down here, I'll put a open spot here, if you will. I'm going to grab my function up here of sum, and I'm just going to highlight these cells and hit the enter key, and that'll give me a total cost for the plan. Total cost for the plan. So as I add those last two pieces, that'll update that for me. So make sure you add the last two. Make sure you update their model numbers here. Once you've done all that, you can then do File, Download as, just make it an Excel file. Okay, that usually works pretty well. PDF sometimes does not convert well. Just do it in Excel, and that would be the file you submit to D2L. Over here on the map, again, once you put your other model numbers in, do a file, export as JPEG or PDF. Either one of those works fine, JPEG or PDF. Download that, and that would be the file you submit to D2L. Okay, so there's how to get your costs for your plan. Remember, the bottom of the lab has basic directions on to find them. Add them in here. Once you have these added here, add your model numbers to your plan over here, and then both your spreadsheet and your network map would be done for your plan.